Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dua Sharp.
I'm Derek Sibley.
It is Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. Happy middle of the week.
Yeah, finally halfway through here.
Yeah. Any fun plans?
Plans for the weekend or the
Yeah,
rest of the week?
it's too early, but we're
already getting ready.
We're already getting ready. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm getting ready for my vacation, long vacation next week.
Nice. Where are you headed?
Heading to Florida. To see
home.
Mom for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Very
always
nice.
a good time.
Well, it's definitely going to be much warmer in Florida than it will be here.
Oh, that's for sure, and a lot humid too. A lot more humid, that's for sure too. But you know, here not very humid, but we're tracking some cloud cover out there. Yesterday we were tracking rain showers, where we're seeing the clouds to the south is where we saw the rain yesterday. So definitely not as moist in the atmosphere here this morning, but nonetheless partly to mostly cloudy conditions here on the satellite picture. Our current temperatures are mainly into the 50s. We got 59 in La Crosse now, 55 in Eau Claire, 57 is the temperature in Winona, Black River Falls, Sparta, and also east into Volkfield this morning, all at 48 degrees, while the rest of us down in the south are into the 60s here this morning. That's where some of the warmer air is located. Today's planner is showing that skies will turn cloudier as the day goes on today, especially during the afternoon to early evening hours, with highs expected to reach the upper 70s to low 80s today. So making it pretty nice for any dog walking conditions that you may have planned here for today. Partly to mostly cloudy early, and then during the evening hours things are looking cloudy. So for your allergy report today, everything is high for the weed, ragweed, and mold. And again, same forecast for tomorrow. So really no changes here since we've shown this to you day after day. But we'll take a look at your schoolcast plus your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. Dua?
Thanks, Derek. Well, let's get to some news this morning. A man has entered a plea deal for child sex crimes. Jeremiah Mitstocky has been sentenced to 5 years for the attempted second-degree sexual assault of a child and for using a computer to facilitate a child sex crime. He will serve 2 years of prison time followed by 3 years of extended supervision. He will also have to register as a sex offender. Mitstocky was also charged with drug possession. According to police, back in February, Mitstocky was caught trying to meet up with a teen who was actually an investigator doing undercover work on the Telegram messaging app. The man involved in a fatal car accident back in March has appeared in Trumpealeau County Court. 25-year-old Gavin Becker is charged with homicide by negligent operation of a vehicle and obstructing an officer. According to the criminal complaint, Becker was driving in the town of Gale when his truck crossed the center line of the road and hit an oncoming SUV. The driver of the SUV died about an hour later. The 1-year-old in the backseat of the Kia only received minor injuries. Becker informed police that his steering wheel had locked up, but in a follow-up interview, police said their investigation showed no signs of mechanical failure. Becker then admitted that he was on his cell phone at the time of the crash. He is currently out on a $7,500 signature bond. The city of Mauston has voted to fire City Administrator Randy Rieg. The City Council went into closed session last Tuesday to discuss firing Rieg, who was brought on in 2018. The council had tabled the topic to a special session this week. Rieg on Thursday emailed a letter of resignation. Council members then rejected that resignation and announced the decision to terminate Rieg without cause. Rieg had previously admitted to stealing almost $2,000 from the DNR when he worked there in 2003. A Juneau County reporter in August filed felony charges against Rieg for concealment of public records. The nonprofit running a downtown La Crosse all-age music venue is dissolving. The reason? Its owner and executive director is accused of grooming teenage volunteers. The Warehouse Alliance, Inc. is the nonprofit that runs the all-age alcohol-free music venue on La Crosse's Pearl Street. They announced they've stopped all affiliation with building owner and co-founder Stephen Harm. One nonprofit board member posted on his Facebook detailing multiple substantiated reports of grooming allegations against Harm. In the post, the member claims that a former volunteer told him that as a minor, she was groomed into becoming a sexual partner with Harm after she turned 18. Harm allegedly engaged her in sexualized conversations, showed her pornography and sexually graphic photos, and used sex toys on her while she was clothed. The The Warehouse Alliance Board hired an independent investigator in the summer, and that investigation finished in early August. Per its Facebook page, the nonprofit encourages anyone who has experienced misconduct to report it. Yesterday was National Voter Registration Day. To commemorate the day, the La Crosse Area League of Women Voters held a voter registration drive at La Crosse's main library. The group said this year is an especially important time to check your voter registration. The Wisconsin Election Commission deactivated around 100,000 voter records in August because of a required maintenance process. The deactivations affected voters who have moved to a new address without re-registering. It also could have affected those who haven't voted since the 2020 presidential election. One league volunteer says the registration drive is also focusing on new voters.
Some people just never have even voted, and they're thinking more about it now because realizing how important the vote is in our democracy. Everybody gets to have a say.
With 4 different election days scheduled for 2024, the league says checking your registration will now save you time. Wisconsin has a website where you can check your registration status. You can also register or re-register to vote on that site. We have that link posted on our platforms. You can also register to vote on Election Day in Wisconsin at your polling place. Construction is underway at Bangor Middle and High School. The school district held a groundbreaking ceremony to celebrate the new facilities. The school will be building a 4,400 square foot weight room and new technical education facilities. The new addition is part of the $24 million referendum passed last November. The district administrator says the new construction gives the students something fun to look forward to.
When they get to see some of these spaces and the current designs and the current color schemes and the weight room equipment, the tech ed equipment, all those things, I think it's just going to be really, really easy to get excited about coming to school and being a part of those areas.
The next phase of referendum construction will begin next summer. The district will be renovating the interior of Bangor Middle and High School. La Crosse's mayor is joining an effort to protect the Mississippi River's water from being diverted elsewhere. Mitch Reynolds supports a new compact by the Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative. The written agreement is a pledge by Riverside community leaders to stand against efforts for the river's resources to be moved away. As a new organization co-chair, Reynolds says he fully supports the compact because it's essential for states along the river corridor to protect the tremendous resource. His statement goes on to say, quote, "As we have seen recently, water levels along the Mississippi River are not guaranteed and can be threatened severely by drought conditions, putting the river's vitality at risk. It is crucial to our economies as well as national security to maintain the integrity of the river." A summer without a lot of rain has caused the Mississippi River's water levels to drop substantially. Barge companies are forced to reduce loads so they can continue to traverse the waters. This comes as local farmers are preparing to harvest their crops and send them downriver to New Orleans. According to an article by the Associated Press, about 60% of U.S. grain exports are taken by barge down the Mississippi River. A normally low-cost shipping method is now up 77% above the 3-year average. This is the second straight year drought has caused the Mississippi to drop to near record lows. With no big rains in the forecast, the level will probably continue through the fall. The La Crosse community now has a place to clear their head downtown. Western Technical College cut the ribbon on its urban green space. It's located next to the Horticulture Center. The president of the college says the horticulture program approached the school about building the green space about 5 years ago. The green space is an area that everyone is welcome to use. President Stanford says it's a space that's great for relaxing during the day.
Green space is just what we need downtown, is to be able to have something that we all can, kind of sit back and enjoy and not just look at concrete walls. And so I think this is really good for people to actually use to clear their head so that they're just the best participants at whatever they have to do to make a living.
Stanford added that there will be benches, they just haven't arrived yet. The green space even has electrical access during the day. Knowing your constitutional rights, Viterbo University held a free lecture titled Free Speech on College Campuses to help celebrate Constitution Day yesterday. The free lecture was held at Viterbo University's Weber Center for the Performing Arts. It was presented by Alex Morey of the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression. According to Morey, it's important for students to know their First Amendment rights. She says not only does it help them express themselves, it can also strengthen their education in the long run.
And so it's really important to know what your rights are, what you're allowed to say on campus, and what your college or university promises before you go to school. You want to know what rights you have if you are going to a school with good expressive rights. We at FIRE think it's a really good thing to have strong expressive freedoms, and that makes education really much stronger.
The event was sponsored by Viterbo University's D.B. Reinhardt Institute for Ethics and Leadership and Leader Ethics. The event was also streamed live on the Viterbo Ethics Facebook page. The members of Downtown Main Street Inc. will be holding their annual Taste of Downtown event tomorrow. The event helps to bring La Crosse area businesses closer to the community by allowing them to provide samples of their products to attendees. According to a press release by Downtown Main Street Inc., the event will also have a silent auction and live music. Tickets are $35 for general admission and VIP tickets will cost $50. The event will run from 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. at the La Crosse Center. Well, coming up on your morning news, a document leak at Xbox. Internal communications from the gaming brand have revealed possible plans to buy a rival video game company. We'll tell you which one it is coming up next. And looking to beat the rush, a recent survey found that roughly a quarter of Americans do their holiday shopping before October. We'll have some tips on how to buy gifts this fall without breaking the bank coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. In crust we trust. September 20th is National Pepperoni Pizza Day. It's one of the world's favorite foods and the most popular type of pizza in existence. Historians say pepperoni pizza was first created in 1889 to honor the Queen of Italy. Restaurants around the country are offering deals on pepperoni pies. That includes Domino's, Little Caesars, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, and Mod Pizza. So remember, money may not buy happiness, but it does buy pizza, which is almost the same thing. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Skies this morning are looking partly cloudy with the majority of the clouds mainly focused down to the south. Our current temperature readings currently are into the 50s, 59 degrees in La Crosse, 57 in Winona. We're seeing 55 in Eau Claire, but the 40s for Black River Falls, Sparta, and also into Volkfield this morning. Warmer air down to the south across our southern communities into the low 60s this morning. Now for your zone forecast today, we're going to be looking at high temperatures reaching the low 80s for La Crosse County. Look at the highs in La Crosse today, 82 degrees, same here for Unalaska, and also 81 today in Bangor, 81 West Salem there. As we head south, slightly cooler for our highs today, perhaps into the mid to upper 70s today. It'll be 78 if you're in the Stoddard area. Meanwhile, low 80s for our central communities with 82 today in Blair. In the Chippewa Valley, you're looking at highs around 84 degrees this afternoon in Eau Claire. As far as your schoolcast goes, off to school this morning, 59 degrees, partly cloudy skies. On the way back home here around dismissal time, we're talking about temperatures at around 80 degrees with some cloudier skies in the forecast. I'll have a check on your full weather forecast, though, coming up in a few minutes. We'll talk about if we could have some upcoming rain chances in the near future.
In your consumer news this morning, the Teamsters Union is praising a California state Senate bill that would improve road safety and protect driving jobs. Unionized truck drivers rolled into the state capital of Sacramento to rally in support of the bill. The Teamsters are calling on the governor to sign it into law. The bill mandates that all vehicles over 10,000 tons must have a trained human driver. That includes autonomous trucks. Video gaming brand Xbox is reeling after internal documents were leaked to the public. The leak included the details of future consoles and potential plans to buy rival gaming company Nintendo. According to Forbes, the documents stem from a legal battle between Microsoft and the Federal Trade Commission. The FTC is suing Microsoft to prevent it from buying video game studio Activision Blizzard. If it goes through, the deal would be worth nearly $69 billion. Fall has yet to start officially, but some people are already thinking about holiday gifts. Michael George explains why.
It's still t-shirt weather, but the Christmas Cottage is open for business in Manhattan, giving shoppers a jump on the holidays. And they're not alone. A survey from Bankrate finds 12% of Americans are buying gifts this month, and another 12% already started in August. Shopping early does have benefits, according to Bankrate's Ted Rossman.
In terms of spreading out your cash flow, giving you more time to research the best deals.
But most Americans plan to wait until October or later.
Unless there's something specific that I'm trying to get, and then I just might just keep an eye out for it.
It's September, a little early to start thinking about holiday shopping.
A lot early.
About 1 in 4 people plan to do most of their shopping in stores, but the majority are doing the bulk of their buying online, and they'll be searching for deals.
In recent years, major retailers like Amazon and Target and Walmart, they often roll out Black Friday type pricing in early October.
And 33% expect inflation to influence their shopping. 23% anticipate a strain on their budget, and 13% feel pressure to spend more than they're comfortable with. Dale Stenberg plans to stick to a budget.
They'll only get what the kids really want, otherwise it's a waste.
And others plan to be frugal.
We found that about 4 in 10 say that they're just simply going to buy less stuff. So that's kind of the ultimate holiday savings tip.
Another tip, avoid carrying a balance on credit cards, because right now interest rates are over 20%.
Well, that's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and get today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, duo. We're starting off on a quiet start this morning from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Temperatures in La Crosse at 59 degrees, a light east-southeast wind at around 3 miles an hour. If you're in Eau Claire, 55 degrees is our temperature with a light east-northeast breeze at 6 miles an hour this morning. All right, current temperatures across the board right now are into the 50s, but we're seeing some of the upper 40s for Black River Falls, Sparta, and also east into Volkfield, though, this morning. A little bit warmer down in the south, Viroqua, Prairie du Chien, areas like Bosquebel into the low 60s, though. So as we take a look at your planner, we start off partly cloudy, 59 being the temperature, turning mostly cloudy, 75 degrees at noon today, and then much cloudier here by 4 o'clock, and then also again into early this evening at around 8 o'clock here tonight, with our forecast highs expected to reach the low to mid 80s, so much warmer compared to the last several days, and we'll get to that reason here in a minute. But I do want to show you that Eau Claire will reach a high of 84 today and 82 degrees this afternoon in La Crosse, which is a little bit above average compared to where we should be for this time of the year. You can see the majority of the clouds mainly focused down to the south. If we widen out the view, you can see some showers here exist across portions of the upper Midwest, such as Illinois, west into Iowa, portions of Missouri. This is all behind a warm front, which is currently pushing through the Coulee region as we speak. And as that warm front continues to advance to the north, our temperatures are also expected to heat up here today behind that warm front. In addition to that, some increasing moisture. You'll notice that the clouds will be around not just for this morning, but also as we take you into the afternoon. Behind that warm front, we're talking about increasing cloud cover taking shape, maybe a slight chance of a shower possible during the afternoon hours here. And then maybe as we head into tonight, otherwise just expect the majority of the clouds to again hang around here. But as we head into around 9 o'clock tomorrow morning after sunrise, we start to see some of those clouds start to dissipate there. And as we take you into tomorrow afternoon, we're looking mainly sunny and just overall pretty dry here. But we could see some showers and storms fire up, though, across portions of the Chippewa Valley by tomorrow evening and again as we head into tomorrow night. All right, here's a check now on your 8-day forecast. We're looking at highs into the low 80s over the next few days. A slight chance of a shower possible here today and then once again on Friday. Otherwise, we're expecting mostly cloudy skies as we take you into that first official day of the fall season on Saturday. A chance of showers and thunderstorms possible Sunday and again into early next week on Monday. At the same time, those high temperatures dropping into the low 70s as we start the new work week heading into next week, and low temperatures mainly into the 50s and 60s. All right, stay with us. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. For now, we're sending you a break with a look what happened on this day in history for September 20th. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Blitz. One word to sum up the Holmen volleyball team so far this season is dominant. The Vikings have not lost a set in conference play. They took care of the Hilltoppers in 3 sets back in late August, but Onalaska looking to return the favor last night on the road. Let's head to Holmen, jam-packed gym, ready for this conference clash. Vikings hosting the rival Hilltoppers. Holman hot early in the first. It's the sophomore, Hadley Teff, going up strong for the kill. Big time blast puts the Vikings up 6. Hilltoppers hanging tough, though, later in the first. That's Emma Hayes dropping this one inside the white line. Anna within 5, but the home team firing on all cylinders. Raina McCardle, one of her 29 assists to Melissa Hoff for the kill. Vikings take the first 25-18. Second set, Holman trailed at one point by 4, but the Vikings go on a 10-2 run. Again, it's Hoff. She had 6 kills, Holman up 4. Hilltoppers not going down quietly. Claire Pedretti, one of her 6 kills on the night. It's 18-14, but the best team in the MVC keeps it that way. Izzy Jar dropping the hammer. Holman remains undefeated in conference play. Vikings take down Onalaska in 3 sets. The number 2 overall team in Division 4, Royal, on the road in Cashton. Eagles defense showing up early. Vivi Dempsey blocks the spike with authority, but the Panthers offense starts rolling. Mara Gruen goes up high for the kill. Eagles clawing back, though. Again, it's Dempsey. Strong strike just inside the white line. What a great shot. Cashton hanging around. That makes it a 9-point game, but the Panthers back on the prowl. Again, it's Gruen, this time clinching the set for her squad. Then in the next set, it's not Mara, but it's her younger sister, Bria, getting in on the fun. She delivers the final punch as the Panthers would run away with this one. They take it in 3 sets. Let's go over to Westby as the Norsemen were hosting their cross-country invitational. Boys race first with the relay start, so catching the winner a little tough in this one. Far left of your screen in the Sparta uniform, you can see Ben Carney and Joel Johnson. The Spartans would finish in 1st and 4th, with Carney taking the top time at 17 minutes and 43 seconds. Boscobel would take 1st as a team. Sparta finishes in 2nd. After the boys were done, the girls hit the trails. Royals' Mara Gruen not competing in this one, but her teammate Katie Field would finish in 5th for the Panthers. Westby's Elizabeth Curtis took 3rd place, but it was Boscobel snagging the top 2 spots as the Bulldogs took 1st as a team. Sparta finishes in 2nd. Westby comes in 3rd. Let's go to the pitch. Holman hosting Central. Vikings scoring a couple early goals. Riverhawks looking to slice that deficit in half, but a nice save keeps the margin at 2. Other end, Holman looking to add to it, but Andre De La Rosa's shot is stopped. That's when the Vikings hit another gear. Look at this teamwork here. Jacob Lohr to Andrew Ripp, back to Lohr for the score. Give and go. Works to perfection. Holman goes up 3. Home team not done later in the first half. Vikings still pouring it on. Braylon Welch, right place, right time. Off the header, Welch puts it in. Pretty finish for Holman. Vikings extend their lead to 4. They go on to get the big win, 9-1. Let's go to the north side. Logan at home hosting Sparta. Rangers putting on the pressure early. Spartans can't clear it. Quade Haverland takes advantage of that. He puts it in to get Logan on the board. Rangers on the verge of doubling their lead, but they draw a penalty kick on this play. So the Rangers put their faith in Easton Everline, and he is going to deliver. Goalie goes one way, he goes the other. Rangers take a 2-0 lead into the break. Second half, more the same from the home team. Logan tacks on another. Rangers get the shutout win at home over Sparta, 3-0. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Today, climate change is the big focus at the United Nations General Assembly gathering in New York. It comes after major speeches yesterday from both President Biden and the President of Ukraine calling for continued unity against Russia. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
World leaders at the United Nations General Assembly will hold a climate action summit today, just weeks after the UN declared this summer the hottest on record.
We need to continue tackling the challenges that most affect people's lives, from conflict to climate change to corruption and beyond.
President Biden spoke at a leaders gathering at the Metropolitan Museum of Art last night, hours after taking center stage at the UN to push for continued support of Ukraine against Russia's invasion.
We have to stand up to this naked aggression today and deter other would-be aggressors tomorrow.
Ukraine's president doubled down on that message.
While Russia is pushing the world to the final war, Ukraine is doing everything to ensure that after Russian aggression, no one in the world will dare to attack any nation.
Already, Ukraine has received hundreds of billions of dollars in international aid. Now, House Republican leaders are questioning President Biden's request for another $24 billion package.
Where's the accountability on the money we already spent? What is the plan for victory? I think that's what the American public wants to know.
Yesterday, President Biden also said he's committed to making sure Iran never gets its hands on a nuclear weapon, as 5 Americans who spent years wrongfully detained by Tehran finally arrived home on U.S. soil.
Today, President Biden is expected to meet with the leaders of Israel and Brazil before returning to Washington later this evening. Ukraine's president is expected to visit the White House tomorrow. The Republican leader of the Wisconsin Assembly is blocking pay raises for University of Wisconsin employees. Speaker Robin Vos won't approve the raises for 34,000 university employees unless spending is cut for the university's diversity, equity, and inclusion spending. Back in June, the GOP-controlled Wisconsin legislature cut funding to the UW system by $32 million. That was the amount Republicans identified as going towards DEI efforts at the UW's 13 campuses over 2 years. At the same time, the legislature approved the pay raises for the university employees. Vos, who has argued DEI programs are a waste of public funding, has now said the raises won't be approved until spending of the programs is cut by $32 million. Evers' spokesperson responded saying Republicans are, quote, playing political games with Wisconsinites' livelihoods. Today, Wisconsin's legislature is meeting after Governor Tony Evers called for a special session. His goal? Provide more funding to the state's child care programs. Evers' proposal would use $365 million from that state surplus to address Wisconsin's workforce issues. $340 million of that would go to continuing the Child Care Counts program. The program started during the pandemic and was funded through federal ARPA money, but that funding is set to expire at the end of the month. It comes at a time when the Center for American Progress found that over half of Wisconsin kids live in a child care desert. That's an area where the demand for child care outpaces its availability. In the Coulee region, we saw Cashton's only child care center close at the end of August. At a press conference, State Senator Brad Pfaff urged his fellow members of the legislature to continue funding for child care counts. He says the program didn't just help child care centers, it helped working families.
What Child Care Counts has done is it has helped lower the cost for child care providers, and at the same time it has helped make sure that we can provide child care availability for working families.
Many state Democrats have been pushing for continued child care counts funding, but Republicans are unlikely to approve Evers' proposal. Last week, Republicans released their own child care package, but it focuses more on changes to regulations than funding. During today's special session, it's likely that since Republicans control the legislature, they will gavel in and gavel out. Means they'll start the session and end it just seconds later. According to the Century Foundation, without additional investments in child care, 85,000 Wisconsin kids are expected to lose their care. Now here's Derek to tell us what to expect for our morning commute.
All right, thanks so much for that, Duo. We are looking at partly cloudy weather conditions now, with the majority of the cloud cover focused mainly down to the south. That's where we're seeing some of the higher moisture content at this moment. Our current temperatures are into the 50s for the most part as well. 55 in Eau Claire, 59 is the temperature currently in La Crosse. But if you're anywhere east from Sparta, Black River Falls, also into Volkfield, we're seeing the upper 40s to low 50s, with the 60s down across portions of our southern communities this morning. A check on your overall forecast: mostly cloudy today and warmer, with afternoon highs around 82 degrees. South-southeast winds at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. For tonight, partly cloudy and slightly warm for this time of the year for the nighttime at 61 degrees. South-southeast winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Mowing conditions today look great. If you haven't had a chance to mow yet, I say it's a good time to do so. 75 and mostly cloudy at noon today. We will turn cloudy at 5 o'clock with a temperature of 78, maybe a slight chance of a shower or two. But stay tuned. I'll have a final check on your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Well, before we head to break, it's time for today's Look Who's 8.
We're going to start with Will, who is turning 8 years old. He loves biking, fishing, and swimming.
Mackenzie is turning 8 too. She's fun, loving, smart, and energetic.
Well, if you know a special someone that's turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab. Stay with us. We have the Scout Executive and CEO Joe Carlson from the Gateway Area Council to talk about joining Scouting. Coming up next.
Pretty quiet start from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. You can see some of those mid to high level clouds there into the distance. Partly cloudy skies is what we'll call it, with temperatures at around 59 degrees. East-southeast winds light at around 3 miles an hour. If you're in Eau Claire, temperatures are currently at 55 degrees with a light east-northeast wind at 6 miles an hour. The Chippewa River Stage, by the way, 758.7. And that's holding steady here for us this morning with our current temperature readings into the 50s for the most part, lower 60s down to the south, but areas like Black River Falls, Sparta, and of course up towards Volkfield this morning, all into the upper 40s, reading 48 degrees for all 3 of those locations. Here's a check now on your overall planner. Partly cloudy skies to start, temperatures at 59, warming up to 75 and mostly cloudy at noon today, and then cloudier skies by the late afternoon hours with temperature of 82 degrees at 4, 70, and cloudy conditions as we head into the early evening hours today, with our forecast high numbers expected to reach those low to mid 80s this afternoon. So a little bit warmer here for this time of the year, and a little bit warmer compared to what we've been seeing here over the last several days as well. You can see some of cloudy weather conditions mainly focused down to the south. If we widen out the view, we can see why. We are looking at a warm front that's currently passing through the Coulee region now as we speak, and behind that front, it has destabilized the environment down to the south. So that's why we're seeing some cloudier conditions and also some showers and thunderstorms across portions of Iowa and also up towards northern Illinois and portions of the Missouri area here as well. And that front is associated with a trough of low pressure back towards the west. That's going to help increase our moisture here behind that warm front throughout the day, keeping us on the cloudy side of things, not just this morning, but also as we take you into this afternoon. You can see a majority of us looking at mostly cloudy skies, slight chance of a shower possible underneath some of those thicker clouds that could become possible as well. And it looks like mainly cloudy skies continue to linger here during the overnight hours before we start to see a little bit of some clearing just after sunrise for tomorrow morning. And the rest of the day tomorrow looks mainly sunny here as well, with that southeast wind motion taking shape there too. We could see a couple of showers and storms here fire up near the Chippewa Valley by tomorrow evening and also into tomorrow night. So something we'll keep our eyes on. But speaking of rain chances, fairly slim though on that 8-day forecast. It's 20% chance today. I do have another slight chance again on Friday. Otherwise, I think our better storm chances may be coming by Sunday and then also into early next week on Monday, with highs into the low 80s through Friday. Then we drop our high temperatures into the 70s this weekend and also into early next week.
All right, well, this morning we have Scout Executive and CEO Joe Carlson from the Gateway Area Council to talk about how to join Scouting and the Cub Scouts popcorn sale. How are you this morning, Joe?
Doing great.
All right, so can you tell us a little bit about the Boy Scouts and Scouting?
Absolutely. We're excited this time of year as families are getting into routines for the school year and lining up activities to be inviting all families to consider Cub Scouting as an activity for their child. So boys and girls in grades K through 5 are invited to get involved in a family activity that's got a lot of outdoor exciting things that are happening, but also you know, opportunities for kids and parents really just to have a lot of new experiences.
Yeah, now I was in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts when I was a child, but why should parents consider putting their kids in that program?
Yeah, it's a busy world for all of us. There's lots of activities that are out there, but one thing that we really see with Scouting is that it's a family activity. Yeah. So it's a place for a child to you know, do those activities alongside a parent or a grandparent or another adult that's important in their life. We're all busy, so if we can be doing an activity together, making new friends, not only on the kids side, but the adult side as well, going new places, trying new things, it's, can't say enough about it.
Were you also a Cub Scout growing up?
Just like Derek, I was a Scout as well, yep.
And, you know, how would you say that impacted, you know, your life?
Well, I can think back on all sorts of, like I said, all sorts of family memories, things that I was doing with, you know, not only with my parents, but making new friends with other kids. I saw my, you know, my family get connected to others as well. What I tell parents and kids is that through these new experiences, whether it's something in the outdoors or an interesting field trip or an interesting project, is they're creating memories. They're, you know, they're creating memories they can they can think back on, or experiences that they can use to drive them into the future, maybe finding new things that they really enjoy, whether it's an outdoor hobby or a future vocation. But more than anything, it's a chance to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about kids that are kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. So classic activities like the Pinewood Derby, going fishing for the first time, archery, a hike in the woods. I mean, what's not to like?
Right. So can you talk a little bit more about what you know, Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts can learn, you know, as far as those type of skills go?
Absolutely. So there's you know, there's the outdoor side of things. Yeah. So, you know, fishing, archery, being outside. There's also the chance to learn some life skills. So maybe it's you know, basic first aid, or how to respond in an emergency, how to help other people. There's a great you know, there's really a focus on helping others as well. So some community service, maybe it's being involved in a food drive or helping clean up a local park, things like that. And then, you know, the fun activities too, the Pinewood Derby,
right,
making things, projects, crafts, all sorts of stuff.
Now, you mentioned the popcorn sale. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, that's firing up right now. So we got scouts throughout our region that are involved in you know, selling popcorn, maybe at a storefront location, or maybe they're going door to door. And that's our biggest fundraiser for the year. So that's helping our local scouts have the funds they need to do different camps, activities, outings, trips throughout not only our immediate region, but we see older scouts going to you know, sailing in Florida or hiking in New Mexico, canoeing in the Boundary Waters. Yeah. So there's an expense to all those things. The popcorn sale really helps drive that for our kids.
And where can people buy those popcorn sales?
Yeah, you can find our local scouts out at storefronts in the area. So you know, different retailers, or you can see kids going, you know, maybe door to door in their neighborhood too.
And can you tell us a little bit about just kind of, you know, why people should be supporting this popcorn sale? Yeah, it's you know, as I mentioned, it helps our kids and our scouts have the funds they need to do their activities through the year. But it's also great. It's great tasting stuff.
Yeah, who doesn't love popcorn, right?
I have an addiction to it.
Yes, me too.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Well, did you want to add anything that we forgot to ask?
You know, we're excited to have new families join us throughout the fall. You can find information online at our website, gatewayscouting.org. And again, scouting's for anybody, but really looking for families with boys and girls in grades K through 5 to come learn more about the program and have fun with us for the year.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. In your morning news now, a man has entered a plea deal for child sex crimes. Jeremiah Midstocky has been sentenced to 5 years for the attempted second-degree sexual assault of a child and for using a computer to facilitate a child sex crime. He will serve 2 years of prison time, followed by 3 years of extended supervision. He will also have to register as a sex offender. Midstocky was also charged with drug possession. According to police, back in February, Midstocky was caught trying to meet up with a teen who was actually an investigator doing undercover work on the Telegram messaging app. The nonprofit running a downtown La Crosse all-age music venue is dissolving. The reason? Its owner and executive director is accused of grooming teenage volunteers. The Warehouse Alliance, Inc. is the nonprofit that runs the all-age alcohol-free music venue on La Crosse's Pearl Street. They announced they've stopped all affiliation with building owner and co-founder Stephen Harm. One nonprofit board member posted on his Facebook detailing multiple substantiated reports of grooming allegations against Harm. In the post, the member claims that a former volunteer told him that as a minor, she was groomed into becoming a sexual partner with Harm after she turned 18. Harm allegedly engaged her in sexualized conversations, showed her pornography and sexually graphic photos, and used sex toys on her while she was clothed. The Warehouse Alliance Board hired an independent investigator in the summer, and that investigation finished in early August. Per its Facebook page, the nonprofit encourages anyone who has experienced misconduct to report it. The city of Mauston has voted to fire City Administrator Randy Rieg. The City Council went into closed session last Tuesday to discuss firing Rieg, who was brought on in 2018. The council had tabled the topic to a special session this week. Rieg on Thursday emailed a letter of resignation. Council members then rejected that resignation and announced the decision to terminate Rieg without cause. Rieg had previously admitted to stealing almost $2,000 from the DNR when he worked there in 2003. A Juneau County reporter in August filed felony charges against Rieg for concealment of public records. Construction is underway at Bangor Middle and High School. The school district held a groundbreaking ceremony to celebrate the new facilities. The school will be building a 4,400 square foot weight room and new technical education facilities. The new addition is part of the $24 million referendum passed last November. The district administrator says the new construction gives the students something fun to look forward to.
When they get to see some of these spaces and the current designs and the current color schemes and the weight room equipment, the tech ed equipment, all those things, I think it's just going to be really, really easy to get excited about coming to school and being a part of those areas.
The next phase of referendum construction will begin next summer. The district will be renovating the interior of Bangor Middle and High School. The members of Downtown Main Street Inc. will be holding their annual Taste of Downtown event tomorrow. The event helps to bring La Crosse area businesses closer to the community by allowing them to provide samples of their products to attendees. According to a press release by Downtown Main Street Inc., the event will also have a silent auction and live music. Events are $35 for general admission and VIP tickets will cost $50. The event will run from 4 till 7 at the La Crosse Center. Today's clue for the Oktoberfest medallion has been revealed. According to the Oktoberfest Facebook page, today's clue is, quote, "The land with animal-shaped mounds was purchased a century and a half ago. It's become the place for runners, kids, picnickers, and medallion hunters to go. The original name was soon changed to honor this founding fur trader, can easily be seen from favorite spots much higher. The medallion is also within La Crosse's city limits and is on public property and is not buried in the ground."
And as you head out the door this morning, temperatures are into the upper 50s to low 60s between the 7 to 9 o'clock hour under partly to mostly cloudy skies. And then skies will turn cloudier as the day goes on, especially into the afternoon hours. Highs into the upper 70s to low 80s and a light southerly wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour. A check on your 8-day forecast here for you showing that tomorrow looking mostly sunny, high of 83. Cloudier skies for Friday with that high of 80, and then we drop our highs into the 70s as we head into this weekend. First day of fall is on Saturday. No rain chances there, but we could see some better chances of rain for Sunday and again to Monday of next week.
Seeing those temperatures dip immediately after we start that first day of fall.
Yeah, I know. Right on time, too, it seems like.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the leaves to change.
Yeah, me too. I'm already starting to see some of those leaves change color, too. Yeah.
That is true. To pull out the sweaters, it's a little warm for that right now.
Yeah, getting to that vibe, that time of year.
Yes, exactly. The long boots, the sweaters, the scarves.
You have to get into it.
The jackets.
Tis the season.
Tis the season indeed. And I want it to last before we get that first fall of snow, you know?
I hear you.
Well, thank you for watching News 8 Now this morning. We'll see you back here at noon. Don't forget to keep up with the latest of the news of the day on news8000.com. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you back here later.